I'm Tasneem Lokhanwala, Senior Digital Marketing Specialist here at Sennovate. We have here today with us the Director of HR and Operations, Venkatesh Theagarajan. Hello, Venkatesh. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me here, Tasneem.
Thank you. So, Venkatesh, let's start with how has your journey been so far with Sennovate?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic journey. I would call it fruitful. I've been associated with Sennovate for the last 7 to 8 months, and it's been amazing, right? Lots of learning opportunities, working closely with the leadership team, and also a lot of hiring strategies that we have put in place in terms of the open positions that we have had so far. And of course, customers are very, very important for our business, as we being a more of a solution-based company, right? So we're more into service-based model. So in that regards, I think it's been a wonderful journey, and day-to-day interacting with the leadership team, strategizing the overall program management operations at a global level, and taking various initiatives. So I think in a nutshell, putting in all my experience in the last 15 years, I think this has been one of the most fruitful and learning journeys in such a wonderful environment like Sennovate.
Wow, that's really great to hear. So, Venkatesh, according to you, what is culture and what steps are being taken here to improve our company culture at Sennovate?
Okay, so see this culture, right? So culture is something which is very, very critical for an organization. The reason why I say that, it's because it's not just a process, right? It's about how you talk to people, how you handle the problems, and how you handle the business as well, right? So if you talk about HR, so there are two things, right? One is an employee-based HR, and the other one is a business HR. So in these two aspects, right, when we talk about culture, from a business standpoint, it starts from the top, right? It's from the leadership level. So once you have that culture set very clearly in terms of what is the process, what we are trying to inculcate into the organization, and what we expect our employees to follow, right? So the most important thing is about promoting an open communication method. The second one would be is recognizing and celebrating achievements of our employees. Say, for instance, we win a customer deal. That could be done as a celebration at our office, right? Or for employees who are working virtually, that can be a little celebration for even one customer deal that we are winning. So things like this, right? It really boosts the employee morale, and also it impacts a lot of productivity in a positive manner, right? And the other most important thing, what I would always follow, is encouraging an employee feedback system. I think that's very, very critical. It can be one-to-one feedback, as that is more impactful. But if there is a feedback that needs to be given to a team, which can give more huge impact as well, I think that will be beneficial, right? At Sennovate, we are also investing in a lot of training programs to strengthen our leadership skills, and implementing various initiatives to support the work-life balance. At the same time, regular employee surveys, that also helps us gauge our progress very closely, and identify areas for improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything that you have said, Venkatesh. So, moving on to how do we ensure a hiring process attracts top talent?
Yeah, see, hiring, when you say whether it's a small scale enterprise or whether it's a large scale enterprise, so everything revolves around the budget, right? So when we talk about hiring a top talent, what's more important, we try to focus is, as we spoke about culture just in the previous question discussion, right? So first thing we got to see is whether the person is a cultural fit for us, right? That's very, very important. So when we go on a job description, we do highlight the importance of the culture as well. That needs to be clearly emphasized on our job description, which sets the standards there itself at the beginning. Second thing, skills can always be trained, right? Whether it's a top talent or whether it's somebody who's a potential to become a top talent, right? Skills can always be trained, but at the same time, it's the right attitude that matters. Who has this very strong core cultural values? I think that's the most critical aspect. To attract top talent, we focus on creating a positive candidate experience. That's basically a very strong employee proposition value by clearly defining the job roles and expectations, and then leveraging that into various recruitment channels that we have. At the same time, we also invest in employer branding to showcase our unique culture and values. Additionally, we also use a lot of data-driven approaches to refine our recruitment strategies and ensuring that we are reaching the right candidates.
Absolutely right. So, adding on to the previous question, according to you, what are the best practices for onboarding new employees?
Oh, that's a good question. So, see, effective onboarding, I think that's the most critical key for the right role, right? It includes a structured program that introduces new hires to our company culture. We also provide clear role expectations and, of course, offer the necessary support and the resources. So we also have a system called a buddy system where we have implemented, where each or every new joiner is assigned with a buddy who has been in the system for quite some time, and with a lot of other requirements that we have in place, right? So we pair the new employees with our mentors or buddies who can conduct regular meetings to address any concerns, be it an infrastructure support they need, or any licensing they need to purchase, or they're stuck somewhere in the process, right? Maybe the first 1 week or even the first 1 month. So this onboarding plan is created in such a way where we try to look into it in detail from day 1 to day 30 of each new onboarded hire. And then we make sure they have the required access and all the support and materials for their ongoing training and development opportunities. So that's our first approach towards onboarding our new employees, so on and so forth, right? So that's how we take it forward.
Okay. So, earlier we were talking about how important feedback is. So, how do we handle performance management and employee feedback here at Sennovate?
See, performance management, right? At the end of the day, in my experience as HR last 15 plus years, right? So at the end of the day, what I have seen or I have witnessed in terms of employees when they start working at any levels, whether it's a junior level or whether it's a senior executive leadership level, all we want to know is how we have performed, as an individual, or how we have performed as a team, feedback my manager gave, and these are the very common questions that are often raised by an employee, right, at any level. And what is most important to remember is employees would love to hear feedbacks, right, on how they can improve and make it better. I always believe in this philosophy: better, still better. That's very, very important. And for this, what annually we do as a performance reviews and appraisals, what is more important? What is more important? Instead of doing annually, at Sennovate as well, we have a system where we conduct quarterly performance reviews, not just from an appraisal perspective, but also at the same time consistent feedbacks to see how a person or an employee can become a potential step towards a career progression level within the company, right? We handle performance management through a very, very structured process that includes, setting very, very clear objectives, regular feedback sessions. I would say 360-degree feedback sessions where you get feedback not just from your manager, but also from your other peers, also from other cross-functional teams members where you constantly interact on a day-to-day basis. Our approach typically at Sennovate emphasizes a constructive feedback, goal setting, and professional development.
That sounds good. So, when it comes to work-life balance, all the employees are, very much eager to understand how it is in every company. So, what strategies are in place to support employee well-being and work-life balance here?
We offer a range of benefits and programs designed to support employee well-being, including flexible work arrangements, mental health resources, and several other wellness initiatives. We also promote a culture that respects personal time of our employees, and we also encourage employees to take advantages of their vacation time and breaks, to maintain a very healthy work-life balance and spend good time with their family too. I think that's very critical because since we are in a very fast-paced environment, it's very important to ensure that they have the right balance between both
Absolutely,
personal
yeah,
and professional.
absolutely. So, coming to the next question, how do we foster diversity and inclusion within our organization?
We are committed to diversity and inclusion through various initiatives, right? Such as a very diverse hiring process practices, and also, employee resource groups and several training programs on unconscious bias. Right? We regularly, review and also amend our policies and practices to ensure that they promote a very positive and a very inclusive, work environment where all employees feel valued and respected.
All right. So, coming to a very important question, what role does HR play in employee development and career growth?
See, career development, career growth, employee development, it's very critical, right? At the end of the day, it's not just about a title, or a position within the company, right? So as an HR, we play a very crucial role in employee development by providing right resources such as training programs, as I mentioned earlier, career counseling, and several other mentorship opportunities. We work closely with our employees to identify their career goals, and at the same time, provide support, or I would say adequate support through personalized development plans, skill building workshops, and advancement opportunities within the organization. Let me give you an example, right? So we have a program called Cybermetrics within the company. Since we operate more on the IAM side, which is Identity and Access Management and Security Operations Center, right, at Sennovate. So what we do here is we have a program called Cybermetrics where we hire interns and we train them and get them equipped to understand the right and the current technology that we're using or utilizing at this point of time, and getting them ready according to the industry standards, and then probably engage them with the projects that we have, right, and also the new upcoming projects that we'll be having very soon. So the idea of having a cybermetrics program is not just cost effective, but at the same time it's also beneficial for the intern as well as the company, right? We have somebody at an intern level coming and joining us, learning what we are using, what technology we are handling. So we, as an HR, it's an operation level. It's very important that we provide them that adequate training for a period of 3 to 6 months initially to get them equipped and industry ready. And of course, they're mentored and coached by our leadership team very constantly, and to make sure that they are on the right track. So that's our focus. And one of the examples that I can share with you from an employee development and career growth perspective.
Thank you for sharing an example, Venki. So, next, I would like to ask you is I'm sure we all know that conflicts arise at every organization, but how do we address it and solve it here at Sennovate?
See, we address workplace conflicts by fostering an open communication methodology, and also by creating a safe environment for employees to voice their concerns. We follow a structured conflict resolution process that includes mediation involving relevant parties and working towards a very mutual agreeable solution, right, which is the key. Every company, every organization has workplace conflicts. Every team has a conflict. Every individual may have a conflict with other team member. So as a process, this is a very important structure that any organization could follow. Our goal at Sennovate is to resolve conflicts promptly and fairly, maintaining a positive and productive work environment.
All right. So, when it comes to tracking and measuring employee engagement, how do we do it here at Sennovate?
See, we do it through regular surveys, focus groups, and feedback mechanisms. These tools, help us gauge the overall satisfaction, identify areas for improvement, and track changes over time. We also analyze metrics such as turnover rates commonly, and then attendance rates, and also productivity to understand the engagement levels and implement strategies to address any concerns.
Okay. So, when it comes to handling employee grievances and complaints, what is our approach for that?
See, we have a very clear and confidential process for addressing employee grievances and complaints, right? So employees can raise concerns to various channels such as HR meetings. We also have suggestion boxes in our office in US and Coimbatore, and we also have anonymous surveys. That is also a part of the grievance process. We ensure that all complaints are taken seriously, investigated thoroughly as well, and result in a very extremely fair manner, with a focus on maintaining confidentiality and preventing any retaliation later.
Thank you for answering that.